Okay, I'm going to go over some examples of setting up the Pythagorean equation. So for these problems, we're just going to set up the Pythagorean theorem. We're not going to solve it. First, we need to find what the larger sides is, or the hypotenuse. Or A, B, and C, we're going to always have C as the hypotenuse. And in this example, the larger side in this right triangle is always opposite the right angle, or it will be the x. X will be our C. And then our other two sides, A and B, the legs of the triangle, doesn't matter which order we put them in. So I'm going to put them in 8.8 for A and 5.9 for B. And then we're going to have the Pythagorean theorem here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we're just going to substitute in for our A, B, and C the values we have here. So that would just be 8.8 squared plus 5.9 squared equals x squared. And this will be all we need to do for setting up the Pythagorean theorem. Later, when we need to solve it, we'll multiply, simplify, and solve for x. Okay, next example. Again, we have a right triangle, and we need to find the three sides, A, B, and C. We're going to look for the largest side, and that's always opposite the right angle. And that will be here, 19.3, and that will be used for our C. And then again, for our A and B, doesn't matter which of these two we put in. I'm going to put in 16.9 for my A and x for my B. And then again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we plug in these values for our A, B, and C, and we'll have 16.9 squared plus x squared equals 19.3 squared. And now we have the Pythagorean theorem set up, waiting for us to solve. And then the final example, we'll have this right triangle, again, as in the other two examples. We're going to look for the side opposite the right angle, which will be our largest side, our hypotenuse. And so for A, B, and C, C will be 16.1. And then for our A and B, I'm going to use x for A and 12.7 for B. You could have easily transposed it and put 12.7 for A and x for B. But the important thing is that we always use the largest side, the hypotenuse, for C. And then again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Plug in our values for A, B, and C, and we'll get x squared plus 12.7 squared equals 16.1 squared. And if you have any other questions, please send an email, and we'll be glad to talk about whatever questions or issues you have with setting up the Pythagorean theorem problem.